So hi everyone, today we have a special guest on our channel. We have Saswat with us again appearing for another video. So Saswat, would you like to introduce yourself to the new viewers?
Yeah, so hi Ashish, thanks for having me back. So currently I'm a software developer engineer too at Avalada, and mostly I was working in the backend stuff, sometimes in LLMs, in AI stuffs also. And yeah, I'm ready to help you all to get through this.
Nice. So recently he has also appeared for ServiceNow's interview process, and in this video we'll be discussing his interview experience at ServiceNow, the entire process, a bit of his journey, and everything about it. So Sashwat, would you like to start us off with your interview experience at ServiceNow? Like how many rounds were there? What all exactly happened?
Yeah, so I'm starting from way back. So I got the interview call during my last company's notice period. So generally you will get those maximum calls that time only. क्या होता है कि you tend to appear for this thing, right? कंपनी से घुसने से पहले आपका जो ऑनबोर्डिंग होता है उससे पहले you tend to have some background check. So that's why it actually goes into maximum companies. Mm, you are appearing for interview and you are actually available. So that time I got the ServiceNow interviews and actually it got completed within a week. That time I applied for software engineer in service, and I got a call from the HR that my profile got shortlisted, and we will be giving you to the hackerrank test. And yeah, appeared it, and this was the first round, and it after that two in technical interviews and one managerial interview, and then HR interview. So I'm not considering HR interview because that HR interviews are pretty much discussing on the salary stuffs and nothing much on the culture pieces. And rest coming by one by one. So the first round, the HackerRank test, to be honest, it was an easy round. So you can expect easy to medium lead code questions, and particularly it was based on one of the questions was based on completely on the prefix subarray sum. So pretty much you can say as of it has a 4 to 5 lines of code. That's it. And next was the question on based on the DP. But as an AG, it was a very hard DP. It was pretty much like if you do almost 20 questions of the DP, you will get common, something like that.
So it's
So it
like
was
standard.
yes. So it was a standard, very standard questions, and not even a 2D DP question. It was a 1D DP question,
Hmm.
which is
Okay.
similar to you can say as a climbing stairs or something like that. You have like 0 1 knapsack type. Uh, to be honest, it was given for 1 hour. It was a 1 hour test, but it can be completed within 20 minutes. Okay. After that, almost after a day, I got a call that my interview cleared for this. Interviews are gonna be scheduled next day, I guess. So the first technical interview was with the senior software engineer in the same team which I was gonna have. Uh, the team, I guess, it was based on some financial tool, internal tool on the service. So the interviews goes like this that he'll be asking me two TSA questions again. After he'll be deep diving on my resume on what I have extra on my achievements, maybe on the framework side, and what I have did in my past projects. So again, the first question was a direct DP question, and that is longest increasing subsequence. A bit twisted, but not that much. So again, but yeah, coding that it takes time, and again, the coding doesn't mean that you have to give point to point exact code. Like he will not run it on that time, but yeah, you have to explain it a bit, and if he's satisfied, that's good. That's it. After that, he asked another question that was a follow up question. So you know that LIS, like longest increasing sequence, have one good follow up question. That is, one is returning the length of the subsequence, and the follow give the subsequence. So that was a follow-up question for that, and it took a lot of time for the subsequence to be find out, because what क्या होता है ना कि रिटर्निंग लेंथ और सब्सिक्वेंट रिटर्न करने में जो डिफरेंस होते हैं वो फाइंड आउट करने में थोड़ा दिक्कत होता है, बिकॉज आई वाज राइटिंग अ सूडो कोड. So it took a time, almost 30 minutes. After that, he asked me a normal hash map type of question, like internal working of the hash map. And it's very popular actually, the working of the hash maps. So you're gonna have like almost expect some follow-up questions on the hash maps as well, like how you can improve, how you can create your own hash map, or maybe how you can optimize it to the maybe using a priority queue, because hash maps are something like a linked list of arrays. But you can actually uh, maybe it's not an optimal thing, but you can actually tell that, okay, rather than using a array list and a linked list, you can use a binary search on that, like a binary tree on that BST. You can do it, and you can ask for this time complexity as well. So like O of n, O of log n, or something like that. So after these two questions, he was pretty satisfied, and my round ended there itself. And after that, I had one more technical round, and that was took by the manager. So the manager took a round was a bit different. So the it started with something like that, ki what whichever technology I like. So he asked me, and I was pretty much just asked a normal question like, okay, I like Google Pay a lot because it's a good payment app, integration app. So he got deep into it, like how payments are there, how transactions work, how this it was more of a system design round, like it was deep in not LLD. I'm mentioning not LLD. You don't have to code anything. He will just ask you. It's more about the HLD part, like need what database you need, what need any sort of caching or not, what transaction you need, how you will handle transaction locks. So you have good understanding on this basic DBMS stuff, like transactions, mutual locks, and something like that. You can pretty much make those answers. So if you can make those answers, that's it. That's enough for that. And basically it's not something like कि पूरा एकदम एग्जैक्टली जैसे गूगल पे होता है वैसे ही बोलना है, नहीं, मेकअप ऑफ योर ओन, बट यू हैव टू बी मच मोर, यू कैन से आपके पास प्रूफ होने चाहिए आप क्यों बोल रहे हो. अगर बोल रहे हो कि हर एक ट्रांजैक्शन को सेंडर रिसीवर को एक डेटाबेस में स्टोर करते हैं इन मोंगोडीबी, वाई मोंगोडीबी, maybe banking sectors prefer SQL, why SQL, something like that. And so this was it. And after that, he got deep into that my own previous companies, how I worked. So that time I worked in Informatica. So he asked कि okay, what did you do this? क्योंकि मैं उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा deployment के scripts लिखता था. I and we in that company we do not follow any sort of sprint actually. We follow monthly deployment pieces. So, but typically in ServiceNow they follow a 14-day sprint. What he told me. So in that particular sprint, he also asked me that whether I know agile or not, whether I know pretty much like day-to-day basis. If I he was able to know the basic stuff that okay, my team works like this. Yeah, if you are comfortable like this, well, so I had pretty much idea on this friend thing earlier. I didn't work that time, but I had idea. So मैंने उस हिसाब से ही आंसर किया था, and he was pretty much good on it कि okay fine, ऐसे हम लोग का टीम में ऐसा ऐसा होता है, these things works like this, and we have some co-org thing or something like that. So he was pretty on that. So that's the way my manager interview got ended. And the last round was the managerial round, which he told, but that round was took by a director of ServiceNow. Um, that round was one of the best round because first of all, when the round started, she asked me about the ServiceNow basic cultures and stuffs. Not asked, actually, pretty much discussed about it, that how we work, how we other companies, portals, and everything, and what their team works actually, that financial internal tool, what they does. So this was a pretty very good discussion, around like almost 15 to 20 minutes. After that, she asked me a good question on that whether I knew JavaScript or not. So if you know that service, almost everything is based on Node.js. Okay, maximum at least. Personally, I do not have any experience in JavaScript earlier, and I didn't have done front end as well that time, so I didn't knew I needed to knew JavaScript. So I told her that I do not know JavaScript, but yeah, if I can Google it now, I can make sense on JavaScript. That's not an issue. So she gave me that only. Like, she told me to share my screen, and she gave me a sort of a demo page to create on spot, and using JavaScript. So- and I was allowed to Google. That's the main thing. So now, this I cannot explain how you would proceed. If you know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, it's pretty easy for you. It was a pretty basic demo page, like first में headings होगा, last में एक calculation type का कुछ होगा, like simple interest हो गया, ऐसे कुछ. You have to put the input values, you have to sub when you submit it, the calculation goes inside and show the output in a good format, and this also stuffs were there. So the problem here is that logic में नहीं, the problem here is I do not know the syntax at all. So that is a thing that I can Google it. So on spot, मैंने she is seeing that how I'm googling it, how I'm getting the stuff into the code, and even I'm pasting the code actually. So I'm pasting the code. I have done the entire code, and I come side by side मैंने local host में run कर रहा था, तो everything was gonna show that. So after almost 10 minutes I was done कि हाँ, I am able to create it, and she was pretty satisfied कि हाँ, अगर आता है then it's fine, and she ended the call. Almost after कितना शायद 2 to 3 days, I got a call from HR that my round has been cleared, and they gave me the rules of software engineer,
Hmm.
and yeah, and salary was discussed that time.
Mm-hmm. Nice, man. Nice. Okay, so you've discussed everything in a lot of details. I'm very glad for that. And as for anyone who wants to know about his preparation or about how he actually made his way to be on a level of this preparedness, then we've made another podcast with him where he has discussed his entire journey of getting to this level. So make sure that you watch that as well. The link will be in the description. And if you guys want to connect with Sashwat, then I'll give his LinkedIn as well in the description. You can follow him from there. So thanks a lot, Sashwat, for coming on the channel. Hopefully, we'll see you again in another video soon enough.
Sure, sure, we will catch up again.